Good morning. My name is Antonio Womak, and we're at the home of Ernest Brown, a legacy member of the Florida Bandmasters Association, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to do this interview. So how are you doing today, Mr. Brown?
I am fantastic,
You
sir.
are looking sharp.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know you
you.
just recently retired, but look, you can go another 30 years.
30, 31, yeah, somewhere in there. That'll work.
Yeah, we go back a long way.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
But I have a question. Why did you decide to become a band director? And what were the circumstances that began your band journey? Like some major influence or
Okay.
teachers?
So music was instilled in me from a very young age. My parents started me on ironically enough, the organ rather than piano. They like organ music, so I started when I was about 5 years old, and they pretty much, just to fast forward, they gave me a career before I knew I was going to have a career in music, and I really enjoyed it. I excelled. I moved on from, private lessons at an early age on to when I got to middle school, then I, got into the band in middle school with Mr. Lampy, not the old Lampy, the son, and we did saxophone.
What
And
were the name of the junior high and middle school?
the middle school, well, it was junior high back then. It was Lakeshore Junior High in Belle Glade, Florida. That's where I grew up, Belle Glade, Florida, and left Lakeshore, where I excelled on saxophone. And I went on to Glade Central High School, which is in Belle Glade, under the direction of another legacy member who's my band director and mentor, Mr. Willie R. Pyfrom. And just a little story about the keyboard and the piano and the organ and that sort of thing. I went to saxophone, so saxophone came sort of easy. I'm just reading one staff with saxophone rather than on the organ. I was reading three staffs and then with the piano too. So it was a good fit. I really enjoyed it, and I excelled with my classmates. That was a family for me, and I got to watch my band director, and he had us in everything. What I mean by everything, from marching, and that's what probably attracted me first. Being from Belle Glade, you see the marching band all the time. We had this great football team and the half times and that sort of thing. So that first attracted me. However, once getting in band, then we were turned on to the real band. And marching band is a real band, but then concert band, that was not played in my house. So I was exposed to that and become to love that. And then jazz band, oh my God, was in jazz band and ensembles and the whole 9 yards.
This is all in high school?
This is all in high school. Belle Glade is situated in the western part of Palm Beach County, so most of our events, solos and ensembles, and they were calling them festivals back then. They were held on the coast of Palm Beach. So, however, Mr. Pyfrom would make sure we were in a van or a bus or something, and we were coming over here, and we were in the mix. We were making the all county bands, and so we were well prepared with that. So, had a very good experience with that, and that, I was looking though. And this might be a question that'll come up later. What inspired me to be a band director. It was fun, but seeing what my band director was doing was quite intimidating also, because Mr. Pyfrom, because of all the hats that he wore and so I didn't know if I would be a band director as far as leaving Glade Central High School. But, however, I went on to Florida A&M University and did music education I did really well with that.
What was some of your influence at Florida A&M?
Well, of course, we had the great William P. Foster, who was the, everything. Dr. Julian White was our hands-on conductor, and I had my piano, applied piano teacher was Dr. Mary Roberts, and then I had a saxophone applied teacher who was Dr. Daniels. So those were definitely my influences.
So you stayed with the keyboard?
I stayed with it. I had some challenges, and it's probably going to come up down the line with the questioning. Going through your first marching season at Florida A&M, it's pretty rough on your instrument. And I had one instrument, and so that saxophone took a beating, and so I decided to follow the organ track at Florida A&M. And I did that. However, then my second year, my organ teacher decided to leave, and he went to Michigan, which was his alma mater, to teach organ. So I was fortunate enough that I had a peer, another student. He had a brand new Selmer Mark 6 saxophone. He didn't use it. And he says, "Hey man, you yes." So I was able to apply it on saxophone, go back to saxophone. So I'm kind of getting off track here, maybe, I don't know, but so I was very fortunate. I was blessed, and I didn't mention that church was definitely an influence in my life coming up. I actually played organ in my home church in Belgrade. Matter of fact, I played at 2 churches. So as far as developing musically, that was a big influence there, along with middle school and high school.
Where did you begin your teaching career? Where do you go from there?
I began teaching upon graduating. I began my teaching career.
What year was this?
This was 1986, in West Palm Beach at North Shore High School, which does not exist anymore. So that was my first job, and yeah, I can remember going to the first football game, and they didn't want to let me in. They said, "Yeah, you need a ticket, sir." So I said, "If I don't come in, they don't come in." I had the band behind me, and so yeah, I can remember the basketball coach, who hadn't met me yet, recruited me for the basketball team. So that was in the younger days. That was fun. Yeah, I thought I was a student, so that was fun. Did 3 years there. Did quite well there. Now that's the program that I can't think of his name now. But anyways, that program had been down for a few years. So when I came in, it allowed me to build something. And we were right at the verge of, breakthrough when they actually closed the school. They closed North Shore High School and created another new high school down the street. So at that time, then I was actually recruited to Suncoast High School by the principal there, and I finished my career there.
Wow. So what were some of your challenges when you arrived at Suncoast? Did you face any or many challenges?
I'm going to back
up as the epitome of.
I'm going to back up just a little bit to North Shore. I did have an interim job at an elementary school, so the hiring was so fast. It was like right before school started at North Shore High School, my first job. And so I'm at elementary school today. Let's say on tomorrow I was at North Shore High School, no planning or anything, so I had to jump right in and hit the ground running. So, just building on foundation with the kids, and they were excited. I was young, but I was, pretty good, really good as far as structure and discipline and that sort of thing, and that came into play in the early days, and just giving them those foundational things, which is the key, I think, to my career, and getting them to a level, making the music. you know, because that's the thing that we're doing is making music over everything else.
How many years were you at Suncoast?
At Suncoast, I was at North Shore for 3 years, so what we're looking at here, 33
Wow.
at Suncoast, yes.
What were the pivotal moments or the most outstanding memories at Suncoast?
When I arrived at Suncoast, I had 16 students. Yeah. However, I mean, those kids were hungry. That was a program that was really down. But we went in and we got to work, and I believed in those kids, and they believed in me. And we did those things that were necessary, those foundational things, you know, to first make the music over anything else and just be good people and character and that sort of thing.
So you started off with 16, but what did you end up? Before
That first year, we probably
No,
ended up with
sure.
like 66, 67, somewhere in there. And let me kind of backtrack here. My wife was right there with me the whole time. So she does auxiliary and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's a blessing in itself for anybody that's a young director. You have a wife and they have some expertise in there, give it to them, let them do that. So yeah, we built that program. I'll refer to we because my family was very involved with my, you know, my career. I'm sitting here talking on the face, but that team was the Brown team, you know. But at Suncoast, pivotal moments going back to that, I would say that second year I was there, as far as ratings, I mean, we were moving to the higher excellence in that short period of time. Also, the school changed to a magnet type situation. IB was the main magnet. Of course, the whole school was magnet, though. We had the other programs also. And we got an influx of students from all over. And so that helped the numbers tremendously. So we went from, let's say, 67 to 130, you know, in a short period of time. And then there was some money that was coming into the program as far as getting equipment and that sort of thing. And we were drawing at Suncoast High School students from all over the county at that time. It was a wonderful time.
What were some of the major performances that you were able to take the students? And Suncoast is in Riviera Beach?
Suncoast High School is in Riviera Beach, Florida.
Right, so that's not like a major population zone of Florida.
No, it's a low economic area. However, we got kids from all over. They were being bused in and that sort of thing. And there were some local kids that were still there.
Were you able to take the kids out of state, out of the country? Or-
Yes.
Tell me something about those.
Well, first of all, it was that the local stuff, you know, just making sure that you're taking care of the community. You know, that's probably the most important thing. And also with the festivals, MPA we call them now, those were very helpful as far as development and where we should be and that sort of thing. So we were beginning to have some serious success with that. You know, ratings aren't anything, but they're a good indicator as to, you know, where you are and where you need to move and what you need to work on, that sort of thing. So we're doing very well with that. Out-of-state stuff, we go all over. If we take my career at Suncoast, you know, the whole thing, wow, we went a lot of places. Matter of fact, our last performance, and I didn't know it was going to be my last performance at Suncoast at the time, it was a little bit before COVID, was at Carnegie Hall. I think that was that was an awesome experience for the kids, also for me, just playing in that hall. I think that was another one of those state superior years, so the kids played very well. We've done that. We've done a lot of, you know, those marching things, you know, the bowl games, and it was all fun, and we won a lot of them too, you know.
So you made the mantra true that if you study hard, work hard, practice hard, you can make it to Carnegie Hall.
you can make it to Carnegie Hall. Amazing.
And you did that.
Yes, sir.
You know, big is not always better, but big is bigger. For the as a legacy, what would you like to share with band directors who seem to be struggling, not based on quality, but maybe size, and again, size does not equate with quality. I see so many of them want to move like a checkerboard. So would you advise people to move at the next opportunity, or stick around and work it out, or what's your philosophy on band director movement?
First of all, as my parents used to say, to each his own. You know, there's no one size fits all. In my experience, I'm talking about Ernest Brown here. This is my. I did move around. I did not. I stayed there and I played the hand that I was dealt with. I had some opportunities to move around. I chose not to. I talked about my family a little bit, so my family was stable, and I didn't want to move them around and that sort of thing. So I had some offers out of state, that sort of thing. So whatever I was dealt with, I dealt with it. Was it hard? Yes, but I don't knock another person for seeking other opportunities and that sort of thing. You know?
Character.
Yes.
Is there one thing about your personal character that make, or would you say enable you to achieve your high level of musical success?
Yes. I think I adapt well to change. That's one of the big things. Also, not putting the cart before the horse. You hear me talk about just foundation first, and that's very essential. And going back to the new director, make sure you take care of those things. And sometimes it's not the glitz and glamour part of it, but the kids will react to it the way you react to it. So if it's important, then you know to be excited and give them what they need, and the success will come.
You know, as when you get a certain age or standard in your career, you begin to almost teach students of your students. What is one concept that you instilled in your students that brings joy to you to hear of a former student repeat to you?
Anything related to character, because we talked about that, and attitude and all those things. But musically, it is, it's like getting paid when you can hear your kids get up there and talk about just musicality, if we just want to get down to that part of it. And I can remember with a few of my latter observations, and you have your principals coming in and they're observing, and what it boils down to though is what the kids know, not so much. So it's as a band director, it's what we do anyways. You know, I'm taking roll. My student conductor is up warming up the band. I mean, we have a routine right there at the beginning, and to hear those kids making very musical comments and answering questions and that sort of thing, and we're tuning and having you know, real conversations about, you know, the lesson. So that gives me great joy in hearing those kids. You know, they sound like a mini me. You know, so.
Part of the Legacy Project is so that young or beginning band directors can learn from the past, from the masters. Now, you taught for over 30 years. What did you do to keep your edge, to keep the passion flowing?
Okay, so visit other band rooms, hear great programs. You know, I can remember when I first came in, we'd go to MPA, and I would hear those great Vero Beach bands, or, you know, Martin County bands, and I'd be there, and I'm hearing them concert, marching, whatever, you know, I'm hearing those bands. Here locally we had, back in the day, the Leonard Band, and the Forest Hill, you know, back in the day, and the great Jupiter Band. So keeping myself, you know, hearing those great groups, and hearing professional groups also. You know, I'm a fan for that Marine Corps band. and recordings, and gosh, now we have YouTube and all that stuff. So, back when I was growing up, my director had a library that was probably as big as this house of vinyl. But now we have, the technology, so you can hear almost anything, but you can't beat those live performances. And then working with other groups also, or just watching other directors. That's very important.
Now, you look like you're ready to go another 30 years. I really see it. What do you do to keep yourself in retirement? What do you do to keep your creative edge? And your juices flowing.
Right. I would say to everybody is to first take care of you. I do have a regimen of getting up in the morning and doing my walk and that sort of thing. So it comes down to you taking care of you. And then when you take care of you, stuff is just going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. But however, I'm doing the same stuff. Locally here, I go into other band rooms. I'm invited in. Or not. And if they ask, and I'll tell them, what I hear or what I'm not hearing, and that sort of thing. Also, on the adjudication thing, I'm, doing the certification with that. So, so I get to hear a lot of groups now.
Well, Florida is definitely fortunate to have you stay home. Not only stay home, but go back to your roots. Because during that era where you were in Belgrade area, a lot of fine musicians came out of that area.
Yes, sir.
I mean, one of my greatest memories, I remember your band director Python. I'll never forget it. He was driving a green bus with his band students in there. Yep. And I was just marveling at that. So, can you give me a story or something that kind of sticks with you that you like to share with the listeners about your past experience in band or a challenge or an outcome?
Okay, I don't know if it's so much of a story, other than you mentioned, coming up in the Glade Central High School. It was so much fun. It was very competitive. But it was a good type of competitiveness, so we're traveling from Belgrade 40 miles over to the coast to do solos and ensembles, and ratings aren't everything, but we made it fun. Mm-hmm. We kind of kept scorecards and, who's going to get the most, and we made a game out of that. So, the Glades, yes, it's known for the athletes and the football players and that stuff, but the musicians. I mean, Ron McCurdy is out of Belgrade, I just talked to Ken Jackson yesterday. We played in jazz band with Scotty Barnhart at FAMU not too long ago, so there are great guys out there. Sam is up at Virginia State and all over the place. So, matter of fact, I visited there's a museum in Belgrade, and they have the athlete side of it as far as history, but I like for them, and I've talked to them, and I'll help them as much as possible to get those great musicians who are out of, and there are some great ones out of there, and Mr. Python say I'm one of them, so so as far as stories, I would say the competitiveness of just achievement. And we wanted to make it out of there, and we wanted to also make a difference at this level to bring other people up. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. However, I still meet my local chapter in Belgrade, and the reason I do that because then I'm still involved with the community out there, and we can affect young kids and that sort of thing.
I want you to blast a few names. I know you, on occasion, meet with some of your mentors for breakfast or dinner. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, you just met recently with a group of your mentors. Mm-hmm. Who were they, and what schools were they at? Okay,
so yesterday we met and had a nice little lunch at a Japanese steakhouse. It was superb. But anyways, first of all is Willie Python. At Glace, Glade Central High School. Actually, he just retired maybe about 3 years ago, because when he retired from Glade Central, then he still came back and taught at a couple middle schools and then in elementary schools. So I know he's over 60 years of teaching. But anyways, it was Willie Python. It was Joseph Bell, who was at East Lake High School in Pahokee, Florida, and then he left there and he retired from Roosevelt Middle School in West Palm Beach. Great band director, musician. Also, it was Alice Davis. I'm hoping all these guys to be considered for this same legacy project. Alice Davis, the band director at Pahokee, Middle Senior High School in Pahokee, Florida for 30 some odd years. So he was one of the guys that we met with. And then it was Freddie Bass, who was at East Lake Middle School, and he's also the assistant band director at Pahokee Middle Senior High School. So it was a few of us and the wives on yesterday. We fellowship together, and we do that.
Those are the shoulders that you stand so proud upon.
Those are the
to
shoulders.
Keep the music legacy going.
Those are the shoulders.
For all students.
Exactly.
But particularly the students in dire need.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give you the last word.
You'll give me the last word.
Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. I would say this to whoever's, are the new directors and not so new directors. We come into this, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. Matter of fact, I had a colleague in my early days, they were taking a class in college and they were asked the question, what is the hardest job on your campus? And I'm probably not quoting that right. I'm paraphrasing. What is the hardest job, or where is the hardest? I don't know. But anyways, it came out that the band director was named the hardest job. People were calling out the principal but as a band director, you're doing all that. You're wearing so many hats. And your legacy moves past your walls. So. Will you ever get there? When I watched those bands at MPA in my early days, I was like, will I ever get there? And I was not trying to be them, but just be the best version of me and my program, and doing the things that were necessary to get your program moving in that direction. And it will happen for you, whether you stay where you are, whether you move or what have you, put in the work. And I would say this before we stop. The edge also came with when it was time to take a break. I have a family. I would take a break and I would get away from it, recharge, and I would come back. In my opinion, stronger and ready to work, even more so, for that next time. Also, keep those goals moving and go for it. Never stay in one spot, it's that sort of thing. So,
Good.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, thank you.